Alright, Shalom. This is Chanak Sa'an Banyasha Allah from the GMS LIONZ DEN camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Harakakadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 2. It says, Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. All right. So we go out there on the highways and byways, week in and week out, lifting up the banner. These scriptures, the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? All throughout the four corners of the earth, going against these governments and these upper elites. All right. Teaching each brother learning so they could go into the high places and speak against them. Like how Moses went into Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the king over Egypt and professed to let the children of Israel go. And we do the same thing when we're out there on the highways and byways. But this particular lesson, I want to just target a certain individual that's of the upper elite high class. All right. The elder of the camp, Aharawan, last week, he did a lesson on David Lipton. All right, so it's just pretty much just targeting the wicked, not just Esau itself, but the upper echelon of Esau, the higher anarchy of the wicked. The ones that are the puppet masters, the ones that are pulling the strings and making things happen. All right, and this guy George Soros is one of the wickedest of them all, man. He pretty much uses his money. He's one of the top wealthiest people on this earth. I think this man got more money than Bill Gates, if I'm not mistaken. But he uses his money and wealth to promote his own philosophies. Okay, and that's just it. This dude is like the wicked of the wicked, man. All right, to push his own agendas, that's what he uses his money for. He buys, he deals in currencies, buys these countries' currencies, buys up their currencies, and crashes their economy. Tells the market what he feels like the rate or the value of that currency of that nation should be, whether it should be up or down, and pretty much just, throws his weight around and destroys nations, man. And he pretty much said America's next. He said Trump's not going to last that long. Through Trump, he's going to bring the downfall of the dollar. And what you're seeing it happen, which is a good thing for us, because this is getting us closer to our salvation. All right, so I'm gonna play parts of this video, right, and go into how wicked this guy is, man. All right.
Of all the financial titans and philanthropists of the 20th century, none are more complex or mysterious than George Soros. Like Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and the Rockefellers, he amassed billions through ruthless business decisions, only to turn around and give away most of his fortune to advance his own personal philosophy. He can move world...
All right, so advance his own personal philosophy. That's what this guy does. All right, I'm going to get a scripture on that real quick. Haggai chapter 2. No, not Haggai, Slakia. Habakkuk. Alright, this is Habakkuk, Slakia, chapter 2, verse 4. It says, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. This dude lives according to the faith in his money and the power that he has, which is no power. His power was given to him by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. See, that he goes around the world buying up these different currencies and giving his money away to promote his own philosophies. That's what they just said. All right. It says, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. All right, and that's what this guy, he cannot be satisfied with anything. That's what he keeps going and going and going. And he actually says himself, you'll hear it in the video, he says himself, if he doesn't do it, somebody, it'll just be another player of the game doing it. So he's basically saying, don't get mad at me, all right? Get mad at, the game or whatever. He's like, if I wasn't the one doing it, somebody else would be doing the same thing I'm doing. All right? Go back to the video real quick. And like his wine, his philosophies is how he, and he feels like he could give the world what it needs, And what the world really needs is to be rid of individuals like him in the so-called white race.
Financial markets simply by voicing an opinion, or destabilize a government by buying and selling its currency. He also pledged more aid last year to help people in Russia than the U.S. government did. But now George Soros is worried. He thinks the global economy is coming apart at the seams, and that the world needs to be protected from people like George Soros.
We may now think that everything is fine, but the fact is that the system is broke and it needs fixing.
All right, see, now, and that system he's talking about is the money system that says that needs to be fixing. Now, that's just going right into the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay? All right, so he's pushing this whole theory of the whole change in currency, the fixing of the economy to the way the upper elites wanted to be fixed through this whole cryptocurrency blockchain system, which ties the straw man to the person. All right, which is the RFID chip is the mark of the beast according to Revelations, man. All right.
What you're doing is asking some form of regulation to protect the world against you.
Well, I am a player, and I think all players should be regulated. There have to be rules of the game.
Soros, take 81,000 to buy 48,000, buy him 69,000 YUM.
Right now, his Quantum Group hedge fund moves $14 billion of rich investors' money around the world every day, looking for profits and answering to no one. Soros makes huge bets on whole countries and economies. Last year, when he saw cracks in the Asia boom, he began selling the currency in Thailand. Traders in Hong Kong followed suit, triggering a financial crisis that plunged much of Asia into a depression. In the last 2 years, you've been...
See, that's what he does. You see, who enlarges his desires as hell. All right, and it's as death. It caused the whole economy to plunge over, and he's about to do the same thing to America, man. All right.
Blamed for financial collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yes, yeah.
Are you that powerful?
No, I think there's a great misunderstanding.
The Prime Minister of Malaysia said that the region spent 40 years trying to build up its economy, and along comes a moron like Soros with a lot of money, and it's all over. He called you a criminal.
It's easier for him to blame an outside force and then to admit that they were mismanaging their economy and their currency.
But the thing is, over there in Malaysia, he said they were misleading their currency. If he would have never touched their market, they would have never fallen like that. But it's all through the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But this man is straight evil, straight wicked. All right, just straight the devil of the devil, Esau, man. Him and Trump and the Rothschilds are the front runners for the face of Esau, man. That's just so. That's the white man to the T.
French finance minister talked about hanging speculators from lampposts.
Soros says the Asian currencies would have collapsed even if he hadn't been in the market. They were overvalued. He says people tend to follow his lead because he's been so successful.
I think that I've been blamed for everything. I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do. This man is...
See that? He says he cannot and will not look at the social consequences of what he does, man. That's just it. All right? It says, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about how his decisions on making money will affect other people as long as he gets what he wants. All right? Matter of fact, let me get scripture real quick. This devil doesn't care. As long as he pushes his agenda and gets what he wants, he doesn't care who it affects. Has no conscience at all. All right, you can tell because they're a fatherless nation, fierce nation with no morals, no integrity. All right. All right, this is Proverbs 22:16. It says, he that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. All right, so as he heaps up treasure to the last days, it says the just shall put it on, though. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. So he's really gonna make his match because he has nothing to live for but money. What happens when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai collapses the whole market in a whole, and his money becomes worth nothing? What is he gonna do then? He has no leg to stand on. All right, and that's how Esau. That's how the things that Esau searched out, man. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, we'll go back to the video a little bit.
Is a carnivore of the first order.
Jim Grant is the editor of Grant's Interest Rate Observer and one of Wall Street's most respected analysts. He never tires of watching Soros, in part because of the huge bets he's willing to place on his hunches.
He has always amazed the people he's worked with at his audacity and his willingness to back up his commitments with enormous sums of money. It causes the blood to drain from ordinary mortals' faces.
Like risking $2 billion in Russia. When the Russian market began falling apart in August, Soros was the country's single largest investor. He called the U.S. Treasury and asked Uncle Sam for $7 billion to prop up the ruble. When U.S. officials failed to intervene, Soros wrote a letter to the Financial Times of London saying he thought the Russian currency should be devalued by as much as 25%. A few words from Soros were enough to cause panic selling that fueled the crash.
What's it like to have a statement that you make have such serious, grievous consequences? I mean, you can, it looks to me like in a number of situations you can take a position against a currency or make a statement, and the whole country falls apart.
Well, it's a tremendous sense of responsibility, actually. And it is also a humbling experience because I am actually trying to do the right thing, and sometimes what I do has an unintended negative consequence, as it did in Russia.
All right, see that? He said he's trying to do the right thing, which makes no sense because what he's doing is wicked. All right? In his mind, he's doing the right thing, man, But you can tell, like, he has no morals at all, man. None. No moral values at all, man. You can tell this, like, they have no laws, no nothing, bro. They don't care about nothing. That's the natural state of the so-called white man, man. A lot of times they try to hide it, but he's giving it to you raw. That's exactly how they are to the 100%, man. This is Proverbs chapter Proverbs chapter 14 verse 12. It says, there is a way that seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. All right, so he's really bringing forth destruction to himself and those others that are like him. Matter of fact, let me read 11. It says, Proverbs 14:11 says, the house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. All right. So remember, read in Habakkuk chapter 2, how it says that the soul that is up, that's the soul that is lifted up in him is not upright. He's wicked. There's nothing righteous about this man whatsoever. And he says that he just said out of his mouth that he's trying to do the right thing. Right thing for whom? All right, for him and his colleagues, the other white rich motherfuckers.
Russia. For both the Russian middle class and for Soros, who lost his $2 billion. Whatever his motivations, no one can accuse him of greed. He's backed away from the day-to-day operation of his businesses and is giving away his billions now with the same determination that he made them in places like Haiti, a country that has less money in the bank than he does. Last month, he brought the First Lady with him for a look at some of the projects his foundation is funding.
This is Mr. George Soros, and he's going to be helping the hospital.
And that's only and what you say, what is this, what scripture is that, the rich shall try to please the poor. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Real quick. All right, so now he's giving away millions of dollars to countries like Haiti, putting schools and hospitals there. But it's only to, like, he's not even trying to do that to clear his conscience because he doesn't have one, for one. He's doing that to really, and that's another form of promoting his will. Like, it says the wicked are, the words of his mouth are smoother than butter, but yet he was drawing swords, man, you know? That's just it. It's all a cover just to promote what he wants. All right, this is Job chapter 20 verse 7. It says, chapter 20 verse 5. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right, because his time is running out, man. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, he's very proudful. And he has a lot of power on this earth, right? But the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, according to Job 9:24. It says, yet he shall perish perish forever like his own dung. They which see him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more. Neither shall his place any more behold him. All right. It says his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. All right. So that's what he's doing now. But the hand of the Lord is going to restore the goods unto the poor. He's over there with Levi trying to, use his philosophies on them, making himself seem like he's such a great man, and he knows what he's doing to protect the world. All right? But he's wicked, straight up wicked, man.
$500 million around the world. In Bosnia, when the water supply to Sarajevo was cut off at the height of the siege, it was Soros who wrote a check to jury-rig a pipeline through an abandoned highway tunnel.
$5 million up front can be more valuable than $50 million a year or two later.
Ambassador Richard Holbrooke brokered the peace in Bosnia.
At one point, after the Dayton peace agreements in Bosnia in 1995, for a considerable period of time, George had given more money to implement the peace agreements than the U.S. government had. He just could move that fast.
In Russia, he pledged $100 million to help scientists who might otherwise have sold their expertise to bidders like Iran or Iraq. In Eastern Europe, he's educated a new generation. And in Ukraine, he spent millions retraining the old Soviet military. At the center of George Soros, there's an inherent contradiction, which is on one hand, you're the capitalist who does not care about the social consequences of his act, and on the other hand, you are a philanthropist who cares only about social consequences. How do you resolve the two?
Recognizing that as a competitor, I've got to compete to win. As a human being.
See, that's what he keeps talking about. He thinks this whole thing is a game, man. All right, but he's gonna learn that he's gonna lose, man.
I am concerned about the society in which I live.
Which George Soros am I talking to now? The amoral George Soros or the moral George Soros?
It's one person. It's one person who at one time engages in amoral activities and at the rest of the time tries to be moral.
You heard that? At one time he engages, and most of the time he engages in amoral activities, and at other times he tries to be moral. All right, so I'm gonna look up this word amoral. Amoral, right? It says lacking a moral sense, unconcerned with the rightness or wrongness of something. All right, having or showing no concern about whether behavior is morally right or wrong. Or so basically, you know, he has no morals at all, meaning he doesn't care what the outcome. It doesn't matter if what he's doing is per se right or wrong, just as long as he gets his point across and he can influence his will and do what it is he wants to do. All right? And that dude, he's wicked. He's wicked.
Understand the complexities and contradictions in his personality, you have to go back to the very beginning, to Budapest, where George Soros was born 68 years ago to parents who were wealthy, well-educated, and Jewish. When the Nazis occupied Budapest...
See? And Jewish, all right? Amalek. He's from Amalek, right? So let me get a scripture real quick. It's Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. It says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, right? All right, it says, but thou art rich. We are the ones that are rich. He thinks he's rich because he has this money, right? But he's not rich. We're the rich ones, man, because we're rich in faith and we have the word, the Holy Spirit, all right? And we're the chosen ones, all right? It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan, man. They're the worshipers of Satan. You know, that's what this man is, okay? Go a little bit longer.
In 1944, George Soros' father was a successful lawyer. He lived on an island in the Danube and liked to commute to work in a rowboat. But knowing there were problems ahead for the Jews, he decided to split his family up. He bought them forged papers, and he bribed a government official to take 14-year-old George Soros in and swear that he was his Christian godson. But survival carried a heavy price tag. While hundreds of thousands of Hungarian Jews were being shipped off to the death camps, George Soros accompanied his phony godfather on his appointed rounds, confiscating property from the Jews. These are pictures from 1944 of what happened to George Soros' friends and neighbors.
You're a Hungarian Jew who escaped the Holocaust by posing as a Christian.
Right.
And you watched lots of people get shipped off to the death camps.
Right. I was 14 years old. And I would say that that's when my character was made.
In what way?
That one should think ahead, one should understand and anticipate events,
Well, see, and that's he's speaking against the scriptures because, you know, a man's going are of the Lord, man. So one cannot anticipate, can escape from judgment, man. You know? So what does he mean? Like one should have, that created his character and for him to know, you know what I'm saying, you need to anticipate when things are going wrong, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. But he's just showing his pure form of wickedness, man, you know. And you have a lot of individuals, a lot of wicked individuals like this devil right here, man, of Esau, that are in the upper elite, that are in the gates of the nobles, that are in the high mountains, the government, you know. You have a lot of them. All right, this is Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, a man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So how can it was set up. The Most High set it up for you not to be taken away. You didn't set it up. Your father didn't even really set it up. You know what I'm saying? A man's goings are of the Yahweh, man. Okay?
This threatened. It was a tremendous threat of evil. I mean, it was a very personal experience of evil.
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt.
No.
For example, that I'm Jewish, and here I am watching these people go. I could just as easily be there. I should be there. None of that.
Well, of course, I could be on the other side, or I could be the one from whom the thing is being taken away. But there was no sense that I shouldn't be there, because that was... well, actually, funny way, it's just like in markets, that if I weren't there, of course I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it away anyhow.
See, you hear that? He said if I wasn't there, somebody else would be doing it. That's just crazy. But, matter of fact, let me get a scripture real quick. The judgment of these devils, man. All right, this is Job chapter 27, verse 13. It says, this is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh. Matter of fact, I'm going to hold off on that. Let me keep going.
It was whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator. The property was being taken away. So I had no role in taking away that property. So I had no sense of guilt.
Are you religious?
No.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Soros told us he believes God was created by man, not the other way around, which made...
You hear that? And I'm gonna end. That's the end of the last part of the video I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna close it out with these last couple scriptures. But and this is one of the individuals that's running the world today. So this earth has to be destroyed, man. I'm doing another lesson after I'm finished with this one, that because a lot of people have this Michael Jackson spirit heal the world, but you can't heal Babylon. You can't heal this society, man. That was set up by the so-called white man. All right, this is Psalm chapter 14, verse 1, it says, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. None of these devils do good, bro. If your bloodline goes back to Esau, you cannot do good. It's not in you to do good. All right? And I'm going to close it out with, what does the scripture say? Hereafter I will not talk with you much, because the prince of this world cometh, and he has nothing in me. Like, there's no good in this devil, man. Alright, I'm going to close it out with Job chapter 27, verse 13. It says, this is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh, and the heritage of oppressors, because that's what this devil does, man. He oppresses the poor, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Okay? Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, all right, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. All right? With that being said, I want to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakakadash Ma'amath, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We almost out of here. Shalom.